Happy Monday, this is Tim Francis. Welcome to Million Dollar Mission. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you the top 3 things that need to happen this week for our company, GreatAssistant.com, to march ever closer to our goal of $1 million in sales. My very first goal is to get a short list of 5 to 10 candidates shortlisted for our new position that's just become available. 2 months ago, I started a search for our first ever manager inside of GreatAssistant.com. I used the Who hiring method and focused on flexjobs.com for the pool of talent that we'd go to. We got a flood of applicants, including a handful of MBAs. Then 3 weeks ago, after 30 hours of interviewing candidates, I finally found our winner, Emily. We got to work doing over 2 hours of training every single day to bring her up to speed. We made great progress. In fact, I'd say she was about 2 to 3 weeks away from being ready to be working independently. But then last Tuesday, Emily sent me a text message asking me if we could chat. We met on Skype and she explained that life had happened to her and now she just needed to quit. Of course, I understood. In fact, it was a very heartfelt convo between her and I. I let her know that whatever I could do to help her achieve her dreams and goals what was most important to me. In fact, by the end, I just wanted to give her a really big hug. Now, I've also got to say that after we hung up, it kind of hit me that after all that work, now I was back at square one. This past Friday, I rewrote the application with the new wisdom and insight that I've had from the last few weeks and reposted the job up to flexjobs.com. And now applications are starting to roll in. Which leads me to this week's number 1 goal. By Friday, I'd like a short list of 5 to 10 applicants who are all strong and shortlisted to be our next manager. Goal number 2 for this week with GreatAssistant.com is to get 1 new sale. We've been spending about $500 a week in Facebook ads. That leads to us getting about 10 people attending our webinars. Of those 10, we end up selling about 1 spot each week, which means 10 people in the webinar, 1 actually buying. So right now our funnel is around $500 out to spend on Facebook ads. And then from there we get about $1,500 back in sales. Now you might think, that's amazing. You should just 10x your ad spend. Instead of $500 to $1,500, you should see if you can spend $5,000 and get $15,000 in return. I see your logic. I need you to know though that would be disastrous in our company. Our service is very labor intensive every time we have a new customer come on, usually about 6 to 8 hours of work per new client. To suddenly have 10 times as many clients would completely overwhelm our internal capacity. There's no way that we'd be able to handle that influx of new customers. Now, I don't blame you if you're now thinking to yourself, well, Tim, if it's really slow to scale, then maybe you've just got a bad business. My experience is anything that grows really quickly hasn't had the time for the roots to take hold, and therefore it can topple over just as quickly as it rose. I lived through the 2008 real estate bubble. Everybody was getting into real estate, either as an investor or a real estate agent or a mortgage broker. It seemed everybody was getting into it and everybody was making money very quickly. But people weren't making money because they were skilled or experienced. It's because the economy was just so that anybody could make money. Many of these people, suddenly very rich, ran out and got Escalades and houses and lived the refinance lifestyle, living basically on the assumption that the prices would always just continue going up and up and up and up. But that's not how it works. The bubble popped and a lot of people lost a lot of money. In fact, a lot of people were actually worse off after the bubble burst than had they never made the money at all. In fact, it reminds me of a great Warren Buffett quote. He says, when the tide goes out, you find out who's been swimming naked. So you know what? I'm very happy to scale our company much more slowly so that we can get the operations right. And if you think about it, a business that's harder and slower to start means it's actually a more defensible position. If the barriers to entry are higher, it becomes a lot tougher for somebody to come along and replicate what we're doing. So suffice to say, 1 new sale this week as we continue to tweak our marketing process and also our operational process is completely fine by me. As long as we keep learning day in and day out, we're just gonna keep putting more and more miles between us and anybody else who tries to come and copy what we're doing. My 3rd and final goal for this week is actually to work out 3 times before 4:30 p.m. Back in 2001, I was a varsity athlete and I was willing to work out anytime, any day, any place, anything that allowed me to get an extra edge as an athlete. In the 15 years since then, I've been all business pretty much all the time. Late nights didn't matter. I'd work till midnight, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., sometimes till 1 o'clock in the afternoon the next day, whatever it took to go to the next level in business. Suffice to say, it was a colossal stretch in my brain to work out before 9 a.m. I just never ever thought that I'd ever be a morning workout person. Then suddenly on Thursday and Friday of last week, with no logic and seemingly no reason, suddenly I just decided to go to bed early, get up, and I worked out both days at 6:30 in the morning. And you know what? It felt all right. I mean, I'm pretty suspicious of what's causing this, but I'm willing to play along. So this week, I'm gonna see if I can go from 2 morning workouts last week to 3 morning workouts this week. And I'm gonna give myself a little bit of buffer room. I'm gonna say morning workouts can be anything before about 4 or 4:30 p.m. Needless to say, I am cautiously optimistic. That's what's coming up this week in my $1 million mission. Every Monday, I film a video just like this, forecasting what I think needs to happen next for our company to go from 0 to $1 million in sales. Then on Fridays, I do a recap, looking back and saying, oh, here's what actually happened. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel here so that you get all the updates and you can see this entire wild journey as it unfolds. I am cheering you on as you pursue your business goals too. My name is Tim Francis from Profit Factory and the Great Assistant Program. I am cheering you on and I'm excited to see you in the next video.